So guys, welcome. A new topic today, and our topic is about the Central Province. Our new topic is about how to make a good and successful cook. How to make a good and successful cook. Vile unaweza kuwa mpishi poa, mpishi mzuri wa chakula. How to make a good cook. Cooking is something that we are doing on a daily basis. Every day as human beings we need to eat, even other animals. And so cooking is an important aspect of everyday life. And for you to make a good cook, it's always good to learn how to cook and cook some good food. Some palatable food. Food which you will enjoy every day. And so, for you to make a good cook, it is always good for number one, very important, prepare to cook. Know that you are cooking and prepare enough. Point number one, when cooking, make use of herbs and spices. Don't just use salt and pepper. Adding herbs and spices adds flavor to your food. It adds taste. It adds that urge to eat the food, to make it feel good, to make it palatable, to give appetite. Number two, have everything ready before putting on the stove. Don't just put your stove or your gas on just because you want to cook. Don't rush into doing potato peeling when already oil is heating up on the stove. It's already in the sufuria. Oil is already on the sufuria, and then when it is heating, it is the time you start peeling your potatoes. No, prepare well. Make sure that your potatoes are ready, because when you put your oil with onions in your sufuria and on your gas, when your onions are ready, then it will ensures that at least when your onion or when your oil is ready, you are able to put your potatoes in. But when it is the time you start peeling, then you might make your oil to start smoking, and at the time you will put your potatoes in, you start now feeling that smell of smoke, and also the food will taste like it is smoked, or it has some smoke and won't taste nice. Number three, make your knife sharp. Some few things which you can ignore. Make sure that your knife is sharp. Don't start pressing on things, even tomatoes, when cutting them. Store your knives in a sleeve, in a block, or on magnetic strip. Only use plastic or wood while cutting. Use plastic or wood cutting boards when you are doing your cutting using your knife. Do not just cut on glass or marble. This can dull, chip, or break your knife. Make sure that your knife is sharp enough. This will also will not only cut your potatoes or tomatoes, or peel your tomatoes well, but it will also make your work easy. You will not feel frustrated. It makes your work easy. You know, when you get frustrated, even cooking your food will just be like not well done. It will not be well done because of frustrations, and the frustrations from just a simple thing like just a blunt or a dull knife. So make sure that your knife is sharp to make doing your work easy and to avoid frustration. Make use of acids. Acids, especially citrus or vinegar, are best added at the end of cooking, and these are what makes food to have flavor. Not unless you have a problem with some acids, cooking acids like citrus or vinegar. Make sure that you have them in place when cooking, so that your food will be nice. It will taste nice. it will look nice, it will have a good flavor, it will give you that appetite in eating it. Read the recipe. When cooking and you are using recipes, it's always good to read instructions about the recipe well and early enough. For new cooks, it is very important. So not unless you are used to cooking with the recipes, if you are new to them, and also for your reminder, it is good to read about them. This helps you to avoid a lot of frustration and makes cooking a positive experience, so that you don't overuse the recipes, so that you don't underuse them. Overusing will make the food taste bad, and not, to some extent, you might not be able to eat it. Underusing will make the food not to taste as if you used any flavor or any recipe. So you should read the instructions to know the best quantity or the right quantity to use with the right food that you are cooking. Yes. So use a thermometer, and it is good to invest in a dependable digital thermometer to check the internal temperatures of some proteins like meat. This avoids, or rather, instead of cutting meat to check if it is done or if it is cooked, you can make use of thermometers. Sometimes you might not just be cooking your food. You might be cooking for guests. You might be cooking for people. You might be cooking some meat and you are allergic to meat. You are a vegetarian, so you can't taste it. Or you can't just start cutting it using a knife to check whether it is cooked. So using digital thermometers, we are in digital era. So for you to test the temperatures you need to make sure that it's well cooked, you can use some digital dependable thermometers to check the temperatures, so that with that temperature you are able to know that it has cooked well. Yeah, test as you go. So flavors can change and develop as you cook. You cook something, or rather as you continue cooking, something may get saltier as moisture evaporates, or as the dish or the dish may may tend to lose acid the longer it cooks. So it is important to test as you go or as you cook, so that you know when to add salt, acid, or any spices. So testing food as you cook, if it is allowed, in a scenario where it is allowed, in a scenario whereby the food you are cooking you are not allergic to it, like meat, maybe you are vegetarian, or maybe you don't eat pork and it is the one you are cooking, you don't eat fish, you don't eat chicken. So keep on testing, because as you cook, when moisture evaporates, food might get saltier. You might have put the right salt, you might have put the right acid, you might have put the right spices, but as you cook, as moisture evaporates, it gets more saltier, or the acid gets concentrated. So know when to when your food is cooked, so that you don't overcook for acid or for salt to get more saltier, or for the acid to get more because of moisture evaporation. Yeah. Dry your protein before cooking it. Proteins like meat, immediately when you skin your animal or when you make your meat, it makes the meat is kind of has moisture. So it is always good to dry it, and you can dry it using a very clean a towel or a clean piece of paper. Fold it with a clean of paper or with the towel, so that the moisture now concentrates on the meat instead of flowing out. This one makes the meat tastier and preserves all those wonderful juices, in your protein. It preserves it when you contain the moisture in it using a towel or using a clean piece of paper, or even like in our rurals, we even hang the meat somewhere so that it gets dry, so that the water gets out, or rather concentrates in the meat instead of flowing out, and this makes the meat tastier. You can also rest your protein to prevent bubble juices from pouring out. That is by maybe hanging it somewhere, putting it in a good plate and covering it, or wrapping it with a clean piece of paper or a clean piece of towel cloth. Serve your table with covered dishes. Well, so when your food is done, when you are done with cooking, you cover your food so that the flavors will just be maintained or will be preserved from inside the food which is covered in the dishes. Yeah, and it also makes the food to remain warm and maintain the flavor that you put there. It maintains the flavor, and also it makes it tasty when served in your plates, ready for eating. By covering the food, preserving the flavor there, when it is covered, preserving the temperatures of the food when covered with warm flask-like basins. It helps to maintain the warmth, it helps to maintain the temperatures of the food, and it also maintains the flavors inside there, so that when you open the food ready for serving, it is warm enough, it is tasty, it has the flavors. So thank you for listening. Those are just but tips about being a good cook, and also maintaining that hygiene when cooking, covering your hair if you have a long hair, or by maintaining your hair short, maintain it well cut and short. Yeah, cover it with a good cap, and especially white one. Wear an apron, be clean, be hygienic. It helps your cooking, or it makes your cooking good. That's how, by maintaining that hygiene, by maintaining that technology when cooking, when covering your food, when adding spices, that is what makes you a very good and presentable, successful cook. Mpishi Poa, by just few but important points or steps about perfecting it. So thank you for listening to our video. Make sure you subscribe to our video. Make sure you see the next video by subscribing and clicking on the notification bell, so that you are notified when a new video is on. And actually, as we speak, there are new videos premiering, so that in a short while the videos will be on. Be the first to see it, be the first to know by subscribing to our channel. Click the subscription icon so that you subscribe and become like part of us by being notified when a new video is on about new topics, about technology, or about motivational talks, about adventure, about maybe science or technology, and so please subscribe to our channel and be notified through clicking on the notification bell. Thank you for listening, and welcome to another video, or to our channel, and be part of us by following our YouTube channel.